Thank you for joining us for this episode. Today we have Tyler Mathenia with us, and he's going to be speaking about how to grow your Instagram through engaging content on the Optometric Insights show. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of the Optometric Insights show. As stated, we have Tyler Mathenia joining us, and if you haven't heard of Tyler, you will soon. Tyler is crushing it on social media with regards to his engagement and teaching other optometry students and really providing some incredible content in the optometry space. So I'm stoked to have you. Thank you for joining us, Tyler, for this episode.
Thanks for having me. Absolutely. It's an honor.
Yeah. So Tyler, why don't you lay out for us a little bit of who you are, where you go to school, where you're from, and just give us a short little bio.
Yeah, for sure. So, like you said, Tyler Mathenia is my name. I'm from Springfield, Missouri originally, so right in the Midwest there. I went to school at Missouri State University and then took a year off in between optometry school, or I'm sorry, between undergrad and optometry school, and worked at a clinic for a little bit just to get some experience. And now I'm a student at Chicago College of Optometry, finishing up my last year, and I will be done in just a few weeks here. So pumped about
So
that.
remind us, are you the first, second, or third class to graduate from that school?
Yes, we are actually the first.
That's
Yeah.
what I
So
thought. Yeah.
it's been interesting. It's had its
Yeah,
perks and its challenges along the way for sure, but it's been
I'm
pretty
sure.
rewarding for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's trying so hard to make sure it's a great experience. I'm sure you've been experiencing that from the faculty. So, Tyler,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
have, as of this recording, you have over 7,500 followers on Instagram, and you've got other social channels too. Tell us, how you started in the social media world. You probably just wanted to post pictures for your mom when you went off to optometry school or undergrad or something. So tell us like the genesis of this process of getting into social media for you. What was it all about?
Yeah, so I guess I followed so many of these little studygram accounts or whatever they call it on my personal account from like dental school and med school. And, I saw just a couple in the optometry space, but really I just started to love those little setups that they had with all their notes strung out at the coffee shop. And I just thought that was so cool. And I was like, okay, I need to make a separate account so I am not annoying all of my other followers on my personal account here. So I kind of set it up and I just kind of kept it as like a really just a journal of what I was going through, what kind of exams I was studying for, just for my own benefit and just for my own enjoyment. And then it kind of grew into something
Mhm.
that was like totally unexpected. It's cool to see all of them popping up now and everyone starting to reach out and starting to show the behind the scenes of optometry school, because I thought
Yeah.
those accounts were so unique in the fact that, oh, what's a dental student doing today? Or, how do you study? And, you can only see so much from a school's website and from word of mouth. So I thought it would be kind of cool to show like, what does a personal insight to student life look like in optometry school, if that makes
Hmm.
sense?
So for those people who have not seen your social media, you just kind of alluded to it, but kind of describe it. Like, what is it that you post? Like, is there something that you plan out on a daily or weekly basis that you are doing? What is describe it to somebody who's never heard of it?
Yeah, so I got really like thoughtful about it whenever I first started. And so I kind of bracketed up. So I have like all my first year posts, and then I have like a little divider if you scroll down far enough on my page and second year post, just for someone that's just checking it out. They're like, oh, they can kind of like go with me in a timeline in a sense. And so I used to be really thoughtful about what I was posting and planning it all out. And of course, as everyone knows, optometry school gets busy, and that kind of goes by the wayside when you're studying for boards and you have clinics going on. So it's kind of just like take what
Yeah.
you can get. But I really like to keep it current of like the stuff I was either studying for, like exam wise, or different like skills that we were learning in school and things like that, just so that way it was kind of a good timeline of what that looks like and what you'll be learning in each year, if that makes sense for someone who is interested in pre-optometry or interested in what the school looks like.
hmm So along the way, when did you start meeting this capacity? Like when did people really start following you? Like within your first year of doing this, was it something where you were getting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers? When did that kind of, because you had to be sitting there one day checking your Instagram and then all of a sudden be like, oh my goodness, like people are like watching this and looking at this and interacting
Totally.
with me. When did that happen?
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it vividly too. I was setting it up, and my wife and I are at home, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this post has over like 100 likes on it, and it's just like, what the heck? That was such a big deal. Then the next post got like 400 likes, and
Mhm.
not that that's a huge accomplishment, I guess, but it's just so cool to see how many people are interacting and like getting like enjoyment and use out of your post. It's just really cool. I think it was slow at first, but it really kind of amped up second year just because I think first year I didn't put a lot of soul into it. Or I'm sorry, first year I didn't put a lot of soul into it. Second year, we were kind of learning some more fun things, and it was like a little bit more of showing how I was studying or how I was taking notes. And then it was like third year, I kind of felt more confident about like actually posting a different skill or a different note or something like that, because I'm always afraid like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have people at my back thinking like, oh, that's wrong, you're doing it wrong. So I waited a little bit before I kind of got preachy or education or things like that there too. So
hmm
yeah, I think probably second year is when it really just took off from there.
Yeah. What do you think it is that people are engaging with? What is it about the content that you're providing? Is it that it's real life? What do you think it is? Is it that they're taking away and getting study tips or getting tips on what I expect in a second year if I'm a first year? What do you think that is that people are really loving?
Yeah. I've always really prided myself on just like being transparent and open. And I think that's so important because you look at all of these like perfectly curated feeds all the time, and, everyone's life is perfect. And, at the end of the day, Instagram's a highlight reel. And so you're not showing your bad days and your good days, or you're just showing just what's going on there, what's going to get a lot of content. And so I made sure to like, from the beginning, just to say, today's a bad day. It's rough. I'm stressed. I have 3 exams this week. And those are the posts that get the most love, honestly, is because people, I think, really crave that authenticity and
Mhm.
really like that and are approachable to that. And you're someone they can ask questions with. And even like failing a proficiency or something like that. So many people have done that. But in optometry school, that feels like the
Too.
world is ending. Yeah, right. Exactly. And you're just like, world is crumbling down. And I'm like, hey, you know what? You can fail a proficiency and move on with your day. It happens. And once people
Yeah.
start kind of realizing like you can normalize failing and normalize having a bad day, and not everything is perfect and you're not going to get straight A's all the time.
Yeah.
So I think those are the posts that really like people gravitate towards and what I really like sharing too.
Yeah, yeah. So as the time of this recording, you are about to graduate. By the time this
Mhm.
actually goes, you will probably have graduated, and that's really exciting. Congratulations! You're in
Thank
your
you.
last rotation. You're almost there. So, what does the future look like for you? Are you planning on getting into practice? Do you want to get into a corporate private practice? What do you hope to do in the future?
Yeah, so definitely planning on heading back home to Springfield, Missouri area too, and looking to join up with a private practice there too, and kind of get myself established within the community there. I've always loved the thought of private practice just because it offers a lot of different unique advantages, I guess you can say. I really love like the marketing side of optometry, and I love the frame selection, kind of the business stuff of it too. I
Hmm.
really enjoy that. So I think a private practice is a great fit for me
Sure,
to join.
sure.
Mhm.
So you've got to be thinking, okay, now I'm done with optometry school. The future optometrist, which is where you can find him on Instagram. So like you're going to now be an optometrist. So what do you see as the future of your social media world? Are you going to shut down the whole site and be done, or you think something's going to happen in the future?
Gosh, I've been in so up in the air, and so many people will message me and be like, "All right, so are you changing the name when you graduate? Can I have your handle when you graduate?" All of this, and I'm just like, "Oh, I hate to give up my baby, but
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's so much like not brand equity, but brand equity in that account, and so I truly think I'm gonna keep my handle and just maybe tailor my account and kind of rebrand it in a sense, because like I still really love offering advice and tips and reaching out to me about, just life in optometry school and things like that. So I really want to keep that approach for future optometrists. And then I really want to start sharing like what it's like for me to grow my practice and see patients and educate on different things and stuff like that. So I think I'm really going to just kind of rebrand and go in a different road, but still keep that future optometrist mindset where
Hmm.
it's still going to be applicable to everyone, whether you're pre-optometry, optometry, or you're graduating.
Yeah. So let's not really sure what it's going to be that you're going to use for your social media handle, so to speak. But how do you figure you're going to use social media in the future in your practice? And I ask that question because a lot of people have personal Instagram accounts,
Mhm.
um, but accounts like yours are used for different reasons, right? In the business sense, Instagram is used in a different way. How do you anticipate the use of Instagram in a practice scenario someday?
Yeah, I've been following a lot of doctors that either have their own account and they're kind of running the show, but they're still attached to their office, if that makes sense. So they're kind of running two separate heads there. So their office account,
Hmm.
and then they have their own personal account. So I find both of them are unique and they have their own benefits there too. But I really like the ones that are just, it's coming from you. You're sharing everything about your office experience from your account. So that's kind of what I intend on doing. So sharing new frames that come in, or how I treated a kid with a new set of glasses and things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm tailoring towards the business side and kind of showcasing what my office has to offer, but then also keeping it with education for patients. And maybe they can look on my account and find some tips for dry eye or, things of that nature too. I want to make sure that it's approachable for all of those walks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're going to keep our eye on you. We've Optometric Insights is stoked to see people that are already accelerating their success, and you've done it in so many ways for other students. You're doing it already for people who are graduated, who are out in practice, and we're excited to see where you take us in the future and how we can watch your journey in becoming a practicing optometrist. So, congratulations, and thank you for joining us for the show.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah. All right, everybody, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave comments below. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Optometric Insights Show.